Hey guys, what is up and welcome to the vlog. I hope you're having an amazing time while you're watching this, and thanks for joining me. Today's gonna be awesome. I got some special parts that I need to fit onto my 33.4. They're prototypes from my coilover suspension sponsor company. I kind of like teamed up with them and helping them develop some top camber adjusters for the Skylines. Some of you guys might know, but pretty much no company makes top camber adjusters for any coilovers for the Skyline R chassis series, and that is because there's just like almost no space there. So with what space is there, I still think it's worth being able to have some top camber adjustments. So I've paired up with them and they've made some for me and sent them out for me to test. So we're gonna throw those on. And right now I'm heading to Yashio Factory actually. Again, there's a lot of Yashio Factory stuff in my vlogs lately. And that is because I need to drop off some stock that we had in Australia during Drift Matsuri. And I also need to get some more shirts to give to the garage because you guys have been buying those like crazy. So I'm gonna get some of those now. And yeah, we're gonna keep going along with the vlog, I guess, and then we'll get to my car and fitting those top camber adjusters. So Oko-chan's ducked out for a little bit and hanging out with Dato-san right now, and he's working on rebuilding this SR. And a little bit of a story for you. When I was at Tsukuba Circuit for the University Drift event, this was the car Oko-chan had and he was driving. And this was the previous engine that was in it that developed a rod knock and blew up, and it was a lot more worse than we thought. This was piston number 3, melted and destroyed, and all the other pistons as well here, if we have a look at, were all damaged as well and had issues. So that was kind of interesting. This one, I think it was this one, yeah, this one too, damaged on the side there as well. And then one of the con rods was completely smashed as well, which I think is around here somewhere. I just need to quickly find it. Here it is. As you can see, the conrod bolt and everything was completely bent. And yeah, so the crankshaft is over here and that's all damaged and can't be used. So what they did was they pieced together another engine of 3 different engines in total. So that block came from a different engine entirely. The crank and the conrods and the pistons came from that engine over there, and they rebuilt it with new bearings and everything like that, so it's going to be a really nice motor. He's not going for crazy horsepower, otherwise he'd forge it, but yeah, it's just one of his training cars that he uses for the drift events that he throws on. Yeah, kind of cool to see working on that. And then it looks like my tires that I ordered for my car have arrived as well. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. There's heaps of SR parts around, obviously, because I've been pulling everything down to get it together.
All right, massive time warp here. It's actually been a couple days now since you just saw that time lapse of us putting that SR20 together. So let me just recap what's happened to you. Obviously we finished really late. I didn't end up going home or doing anything else I had planned that day, and that was because I had to wait for Oka-chan to come back. And while I was waiting, I ended up hanging out with Dato-san, and obviously, I helped him assemble that SR20. And then when Oka-chan came back, we hanged out even more, and before I knew it, it was really late, and then I had to head home. Since then, I've been like non-stop at work, and I'm actually in Kyoto today, which is why you're seeing me in a hotel room. And tomorrow I'm in Osaka. And if any of you guys don't know what I do for work, is there's a huge company that's getting launched in a lot of other countries that I can't talk about right now. But it's called DAZN, D-A-Z-N, and it's essentially Netflix, but for sports. So you can log in and you can watch at any point in time when any sports kind of thing is live, as well as past games and recaps and highlights and all that type of stuff. And anyways, my job is the company that owns that company, or the company that created that company, because like the company behind the scenes called Perform Media. I'm a live engineer for them, which is kind of like TV production live engineering. And essentially I am going to all the soccer stadiums here in Japan and installing like a communications talkback kind of system, so that they can talk back, we can talk to the operators on site, and they can talk back with us. Now, enough about my job aside. I'm in Kyoto today, and I thought, what better way to finish up the vlog than to give you guys like a thorough tutorial on how to use those Japanese toilets that you see like everywhere on the internet, and people just like mind blown by them. The things that automatically come out and spray and tickle your butthole. So yeah, I figured let's do that. So this is the toilet here in my hotel room, and this is me. What's up? And the first thing you're going to notice is there's a whole bunch of buttons here and bunch of writing and Japanese symbols, but generally most of them have some English words there. And that was after, there was just a whole bunch of complaints of people pushing the wrong buttons and getting surprises. So generally in most hotels, they have the new ones with the English writing, so you should be fine. Although I don't recommend ever using Google Translate on these. There is a Google Translate app that some of you guys might know about, and it's essentially just Google Translate, right? But there's a camera button, and when you push this, you can hover over certain Japanese words, and it tries to translate it to English. And it's saying that the button for like a girl is video, and the button for your butthole is ass. So I definitely wouldn't recommend using this, because you might get a little bit confused when Google Translate tries telling you that this is to, start a video. Anyways, so one of the biggest, most popular brands in Japan is Toto. I always keep thinking to myself, I need to get a permanent marker and start vandalizing these and finish it and make it Totoro with a little like picture of Totoro's face there. But that's just me being a nerd. Now, the main thing to know is whether or not the toilet has any of these cool features. If you think they're cool, it's called a washlet. And the first thing you're going to notice is when you go to sit on the toilet, and like if it detects weight pushing down on it. So if I push down on this water comes on, right? And see how now, and it's just stopped because it's detected no more weight. That is actually a deodorizer. So what that's designed to do is to try and get water flowing, so that if there's any smell in there, it hides it or gets rid of it, right? It's kind of interesting. But the moment you sit on these, if I'm sure this is clean, I haven't used it yet. If I put my weight on this, straight away it starts again. Now the next thing is, obviously toilet seats are freaking heated. It's amazing. Normally you don't have to worry about touching controls to that. It's normally just an on-off button. It's normally at the back here. So you can see the deodorizer is on as well, and the warm seat. Some of them do have a feature where you can adjust how hot you want the seat, whether you want it only a tiny little bit warm, or extremely hot where you're gonna burn your butt. You got a standby button to turn it all off. Generally, the buttons here that are the plus and the minus that are next to these two symbol buttons, the one that looks like a spray hitting your butt, and the one that's got a picture of a girl with her getting a nice spray, is the water pressure, how strong you want the water pressure. So be careful with this, you can hurt yourself. And then you've got the stop button. That's important because without that, you can't stop these two features. They don't time out. So yeah. What sometimes, like I said, in most hotels they have English. Oh, there you go. I put my weight on the toilet again. They do have English instructions just in case you can't read the buttons on the side. Now, I want to show you guys how the washlet works. But when I do that, I have to trick it into making it think that someone's sitting on it, which means it is most likely going to spray water at me, which is kind of gross. So I'm gonna stand off to the side, and I apologize in advance to the cleaners in my hotel room because this is probably gonna make a bit of a mess. But anyways, I'll show you it coming out, maybe spray a bit, and then I'll close the lid as quickly as I can. So I'm gonna put some weight on it. Maybe it's gonna need it in the rear part of it. Oh man, this is kind of gonna be nasty. I'll use my knee. All right. I'm gonna totally cop this in the face. I can feel it. All right. Get the lid ready. There it is, there it is. Ah! It's all over the wall. Great, I'll have to clean that up. My wife's gonna watch this vlog later, and probably my mother-in-law as well, and they're probably gonna crack up. Anyways, I don't really want to show you the girls one. It's pretty self-explanatory. The picture explains exactly what it does. But that's pretty much Japanese toilets. One thing I have always been kind of cautious about is the safety of these things, because there is 110 volts running through the seat that you're sitting on the toilet, and there is water involved. And, you know, in a perfect environment, the electricity would never get in contact with the water, but sometimes, you know, due to mishaps, it can happen. And like you can see this cable here, that's going to the heater element all around in the seat. Now, if for some reason water did get in contact with that and any issues did happen like that, all of them generally have a really good safety switch attached to the power plug that goes into the wall. I can't get to the back to show you that, but it is there. And that's pretty much it. I mean, like, what's kind of interesting is, you know, this particular type of toilet does still have the manual flush on the side, as in the more fancy ones, they don't even have this control module thing here. They normally have a separate one up on the wall that takes a couple AA batteries. And the sucky thing about that, true story actually, a family member of May's had this happen to them, and the batteries died while she pushed the washlet button, this little guy, and it activated it, but when she went to hit the stop button, it wouldn't turn off because the batteries had died, because it's just a big remote controller that just sits on the wall, right, that does the flushing and everything in the toilet. And because the batteries died, it wouldn't shut off. So she had to scream, and the husband had to come in and unplug the toilet from the back of the wall just so it could stop. So anyways, there are pros and cons, right? You know, like, I guess with everything, yes, it makes your life a lot easier. It means you don't have to wipe your butthole with paper, and it means that, you know, you're not being rough down there, and I guess you don't hurt your butthole as much. But yeah, I mean, this is kind of awkward to talk about, but I think it's kind of funny and awesome. So, and it's definitely one of the biggest questions that a lot of people ask me. But anyways, with other toilets and stuff like that here in Japan, a lot of public toilets, especially in really high-end kind of shopping malls, all have those. And it always depends, in Tokyo, that is, of course, I'm talking about. So it depends where you're traveling to in Japan. Obviously, if you're going to a rural area, they're probably going to be the old squat toilets. I mean, it depends when the toilet was constructed, like the toilet building or the toilet area, or when it was last renovated, because there was a period where Japan only had squat toilets. Then there was a period where the Western influence of sit-down toilets started creeping in, and what they did was, most people in their homes had the Western style toilet, but what they did in public toilets was they only put one Western toilet all the way at the end. So if ever you're going to somewhere and you see squat toilets, before you just go and give up and try to squat and potentially fall in, go to all the way to the end cubicle and just check that there isn't a Western toilet there. If there isn't, then it's even predating that period, which means, sorry mate, you're gonna have to squat. But generally those places are only really old, buildings and really remote rural areas.
And I think that basically sums everything up with toilets here in Japan. I mean, I may have missed something and I'm sure it'll come to me later, but I think I've been talking about toilets for too long in this vlog as it is already. And anyways, guys, I'm going to be going to bed now. I need to get to bed early, and I'm going to edit this video and try to get it out to you maybe Sunday, Monday. But obviously I'm traveling for work and I won't be home till like really early in the morning, Monday morning. And then I've got to work again Monday at 10 a.m. for a full shift before I get a couple days off. But anyways, there's gonna be some cool car content coming on those days off because I got to do some work on my car. And I'm actually gonna be hanging out with Joshua and Tochigi again, which is gonna be awesome. And we're gonna do an update video on his one-of-a-kind RX-7. So anyways, guys, for now, actually, just a little plug there on his RX-7. Your mind's gonna be blown when you see what he's done with it, because it's, wow, completely different than how you last saw it. Anyways, enough with that. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know it was a little bit strange going from rebuilding an SR20 and hanging out at Yashio Factory to now me in a hotel room in Kyoto talking about toilets and spraying the place with a washlet. So anyways, thanks heaps for watching. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe and all that jazz. And I'll catch you in the next one. Ja mata ne.